Hey everybody, happy Sunday, or maybe it's Monday where you're at, I don't know. But welcome to the KetoMOM page. We've got Facebook going on, I've got Instagram going on. We're doing both at the same time because I've got winners from Instagram and Facebook. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? And how are you doing on your day 3 goals? How are you doing on your day 3 goals? So for those of you, you might go, I'm just starting tomorrow, because I actually have a friend who's become one of my great friends, and she's like, Stephanie, don't ask me. I'm starting on Monday. So that's fine. And I want to know how you're doing. We're doing a check-in. So like every morning, I'm going to be posting a motivational, inspirational quote, something for you to just go, hey, I'm here. Today is your day 4. Today is whatever day it is. You can check in the morning, or you can check in later throughout the day. I'm not going to give you an exact time that I'm going to do the lives, because if you're brand new to the page, I'm a mom. We are blessed with 4 beautiful daughters, and we homeschool by choice. And school starts back up tomorrow. Anybody else? Holidays are done, diving into school. So where are you at? How are your goals? I love Sundays, and I'm going to be talking to you about something. Has anybody heard of the conversation or heard of the topic EQ and AQ? We're going to talk about that in just a second. But where are you tuning in from? How are your goals? Have you started? Are you on day 3? Maybe it's your day 1. Doesn't matter. Maybe you're starting tomorrow. So I did put some names in the top, I put some names in the title of the video. If you're on Instagram, I'll show you what they are. You can watch Facebook, but I wrote down the names of the winners, and you're going to win another really good book called Rain or Shine. Oops, here you go. So I gave a book away a couple days ago called Rhinoceros Success. I'll be giving more books away as people check in. We're just picking names. So this is by the same author. I was going to read something out of it for you. Something that I think is super important as you're going after your goals is making sure that you fuel your mind right. Because if you're not reading, if you're not listening to things that are going to uplift you and get your mind set for the day, you are easily going to spiral out of control and grab the donut, skip your workout, hit the snooze button, snap at a coworker, because you have specific goals. But if you're not feeding your mind, guess what? This has to come first. Then the food in your mouth is important, and then moving your body, right? So this book is great. So the winners are in the header of the video. If you're on Instagram, the winners are, it's Cali Florida Girl for Instagram, and Mary_Fraser_Hoffman are the 2 Instagram winners. And then as you're checking in every day, we'll be picking more winners for fun things like my mom fuel. I've got a couple more books to give away. And this is what I'm doing. And the reason I'm doing it is because so many people just start something and last 2 weeks and then give up. Or maybe you don't have somebody around you to hold you accountable. So I might not comment on every single person's comment, but I want you to know, like, there's something that if you know that you're going to go check in somewhere, if you know somebody's watching, or maybe you know that, like my husband, I talked about this before, has got a chat thread going with some guys. If you know that you've got to go check in somewhere, then guess what? It holds you to a different level of accountability. If you don't have somebody in your home to do it, you check in here every single day. Come here and go, I drank my water, I did my workout, I ate clean, or whatever it is. I drank my ketones, I read my books, I did my meditation. Whatever those goals are that you're working on, come here and check in. We're drawing for some winners. So this is what I wanted to read out of this book for you. It's a fun little, I just thought it was great. I turned to it and I was like, oh, that's so good. So the book is Rain or Shine by Scott Alexander. The names on here are going to be winning. It says, a guided missile cannot be guided until it has been launched. Quit planning, quit plotting and procrastinating, take massive action, and then you can make your course corrections. I love that. If you've ever listened to me on a live before, I'll say things like, so many people spend all of this time grabbing all of this information and watching, 5 different people and making all the lists and doing all the grocery. You're doing all of the things, but they don't actually take the action and take the first step in their health and fitness goals, right? They don't actually say no to the donut. They don't go get the gym membership. Like, they're learning all of this. How many of you have learned all of the things that we've taught you? Drink more water. Choose better foods. I've walked you through lots of times, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, better options. I need you to know something. I'm going to go over something called EQ and AQ in about 3.5 seconds, but I need you to know, I could come on here all day long and I could tell you how to eat and drink this amount of water and get your sleep and don't be super stressed out because that holds on weight. I could tell you all of those things, but you want to know something? I bet you if you just step back for a second, you actually know what to do. Like, we know we shouldn't eat the donut, right? We know that we shouldn't be up on our phones at 3 o'clock in the morning. We should be sleeping because sleep is a weapon. You know that when you're super stressed out, you should probably de-stress. I know I shouldn't go be driving through the McDonald's drive-thru every 3 days. Like, we know what we need to do. You just have to take the action. Now, I think it's so powerful to understand and have tools. Like in our business, when we're training our teams, we talk about having tools in our tool belt, right? And how we might be sharing something or adding value, or the tools that we use to explain things. I'm going to give you an example, or the tools that you use to help in your life. So, has anybody on here heard the phrase EQ or AQ? Has anybody heard of that? How about IQ? Does everybody understand what IQ is? Your IQ is, in a sense, how smart you are, right? I don't know how accurate it is, but pretty accurate. It gives you a score of your IQ. How intelligent are you, right? There's also something called EQ and AQ. Your EQ is your emotional quotient. How well do you handle your emotions? And your AQ is your adaptability quotient. How adaptable are you? Because if you have those two things in your mind, first of all, you have an awareness of your EQ and your AQ. Oh, like I can control my emotions? Oh, something happened throughout my day and I learned about AQ and I need to be adaptable so I don't lose my EQ, so I don't go spiral out of control and lose it, because today and for probably the last 5 days, my AQ has been tested and it has been wonderful and so much fun. And I have a lot of things on my list that I've been wanting to do. And those things have not got done. And it's okay, right? But if your AQ is tested and then all of a sudden you lose your EQ, you can spiral out of control, go dive into food for your support system, and then decide to give up. So what I want you to know is this. Anytime throughout your day, from the time you get up in the morning until the time you go to bed, you are going to be tested and you're going to have to choose, right? Our life is a series of choices, good or bad, and all those choices are going to, come together and ultimately give you the results that are the results of your choices. Now, not every day is going to go how you want it. School is starting back up, right? Some of you are going back to work. Some of you, it doesn't matter. But you've got goals. So I want you to, that's why I said it's important to write down your goals, keep them in front of you so you can see them, and also have an awareness of life is going to happen. And when life happens, how am I going to handle it? And that is going to ultimately get you to the end game of creating a lifestyle, reaching your goals, and doing it long term. Or if you lose it because you have no idea how to handle your EQ and your AQ, well, then you're going to lose it. So I think these two tools in your tool belt can help you in any life circumstance. So I'm going to give you an example. Today, I said no to a couple things this afternoon because I had a whole list of things to do. Well, then a child asked to have a friend over. So I said, that's fine, yes, thinking that it would be like, it would keep them occupied, but they had so much fun, right? So I was adaptable. It was fine. And we just have our house, just so you know, is a revolving door of amazingness. And we love having people over and we're always welcoming people. And sometimes I'm like, blah, I don't have anything ready. So you could either lose, let's say you've got goals. Does anybody ever have something that you're like, oh, I want to do, and then something happens and you get so frustrated and then you freak out on your kids or your spouse or your boss or your employees, right? So in a situation, whether you maybe don't make it to the gym, Maybe you don't eat as well as you wanted to. Maybe you slept through your alarm clock. How well are you going to handle your EQ is going to be, are you going to react or are you going to respond? And so when you are aware of these two things, in my head, this is the biggest learning lesson that I felt like I learned in business and took and implemented it into my entire life. And I feel like I have this conversation with myself almost every day. Because if you are a parent, if you work with people, if you are married, if you're anything in your life, you have to have, excuse me, you have to have I have a frog in my throat. I can't talk. Ribbit. Okay. Ugh. You have to have a good EQ and an AQ. So I just want you to go to yourself when things happen throughout your day and happen throughout your week. It's like there's something in my throat and I wasn't even eating. What? Do you want to come over here and talk to them? You guys want my husband to come say hi? He's sitting right over there. So, I just want you to understand something. You now have an awareness that if you sit back for a second and if your day does not go as planned, you can go, oh, you know what? Stephanie talked about this and my kids are throwing a fit and I don't get to go do what I do, but she said something about EQ and I should really control my emotions because if I don't, I'm going to go eat my emotions and I don't want to do that. Secondly, I know that I could either react out of anger because things didn't go my way, or I can take a second and respond and still make a good choice, right? So I use this with our kids. I use this with anything it's great with marriages. It's great with children. It's great with business. Like if you can control your emotions, this is going somewhere. If you can control your emotions and you can learn how to respond in a situation versus react. Some of you might be going, what does this have to do with my fat loss? It has a lot to do with it. Because the more and more I coach people, the more and more I realize it has nothing to do with the food. You know what to do and everything to do with your mindset, how you feel about yourself, how you take in your environment, how you have people on your side or not on your side, whether you let your kids determine your life or not determine there's so many outside factors that if you can just control how you're reacting, respond well, choose the better choices, choose to respond, and keep going. Because we are all human. And so with that, the AQ is adaptability. And that's just meaning, like if you're on a journey and you've just started this journey, January 1st or today, or you're starting tomorrow, I need you to be adaptable and knowing that the only way that you fail is if you quit, right? And there's not going to be an every single perfect day. And you're going to have trip ups and you're going to have things that come in and throw off your day or whatever the case may be. And if you can learn to be adaptable and just be aware and go, oh, this is a situation where I'm going to control my emotions. I'm going to be adaptable and I'm going to be okay with it, knowing that I'm not perfect and I'm going to choose this, right? Did that make sense how I explained it, or do you want to say something else? I just kind of wanted to give you guys a different awareness of a completely different conversation besides eat this for breakfast, eat this for lunch, eat this for dinner, because I truly, and that's the reason why we're giving away books, because I feel like people could read and listen to other people and fill their mind with great music and just be intentional about what's going in here, then this is going to get under control. Then you're going to feel better and you're going to start walking or moving your body. You're going to start giving encouraging words to other people around you because you've been fed. And you're just going to overall feel incredible. That's it, right? So here's the deal. Congratulations to the winners. Your names are above. Message me your address and I'm going to send you a book. Oh, you know what? I was actually going to, message me your address and I'm also going to send in with the book, I'm going to send a packet of my mom fuel. If you have not tried this, I drink ketones every single day. This is called my happy fuel. I feel like I'm usually always happy. It's a choice, right? So for those of you who have been messaging me because you see me on my Instagram stories talk about it every day, if you want to, on Instagram, scroll through the stories, and actually my stories go over onto Facebook. So I just shared a whole bunch of book suggestions, like 25 of them, and I circled some of my favorite books. So click through the stories and go grab a couple books that are our favorites. They're great books to just for self-development. Secondly, for those of you who've been asking about my Mom Fuel, I am mailing lots and lots of these out, 5 and 10 day trial kits. So if you want to know more about my Mom Fuel, I drink it every day. I share about it on my stories. Just post 5 in the comments and we can chat. And lastly, the reboot is available. I posted about it yesterday. It's a 60-hour, kind of like a fast or a cleanse, but it's a reboot system to where you follow along with me and thousands of other people, and you don't eat for 60 hours, but you drink. We've got your lunch, your dinner, your in-betweens, your electrolytes. If you want to join us for the reboot, you've got a couple more days and then it's done for January. We start January 17th. You will have the kit before then. So post reboot below and we will chat. So I hope that was helpful. Congratulations to the book winners. If you do not quite understand what I meant about EQ and AQ, let me know and I can send you a voice message and explain it more. But it's really just an awareness of how well you can handle your emotions and how well you are adaptable to any life circumstances, which will ultimately create you to have a better emotional, like able to handle your day, respond better to people, make better choices, and just become a happier, healthier you, which is the ultimate goal for this year because most of you want fat loss or whatever the case may be. So check in. I'm here to help. I will come back and message you, the ones that want reboot information that are posting reboot below. Otherwise, I'm always here. So if you're brand new, post new below, private message me your goals. I'll give you a foods list. We'll talk about how we started. There's no shortage of videos or tools to share with you. I would say take a couple things, and like the book said, it's the action, right? So you can gather all the information, but it's not going to work until you put action behind it. And then he said, as you go, you will course correct. You'll figure out what works for you, what doesn't. You want to change something up, like you'll have to make a couple pivots, but we'll work and we'll learn as we grow and go. We'll learn as we go. So that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful night and we'll talk to you soon.